It's an old-school battle in the Keystone State of Pennsylvania. The Eagles and the Steelers are underway.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Now we get our first look at the hometown kid, rookie Kenny Pickett from the University of Pittsburgh, as he leads the Steeler offense out for their first possession.
And when you watch Kenny Pickett play, you see a young man who got better every season in college and really blossomed in his final campaign, took his game to a new level, and made him a first-round pick in the NFL. He's the type of kid who can beat you with his mind, beat you with his arm, and occasionally with his legs. A tough, skilled performer. Kenny Pickett, he's got some moxie to him.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 16 yards on the game's first play and a quick first down.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
Pickett going to bootleg it. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
On 2nd and 10, Pickett, quick completion here to Johnson. And he has another first down as he'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 43. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. A first carry for the second-year man. It's Najee Harris. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Hassan Reddick coming through with a stop there and a tackle for loss to boot.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Pickett.
Here's Johnson with a reception. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 23. 23 yards the pickup there.
Well, that's not just his first, not his second, already his third completion here on the opening drive. And I think it's safe to say that getting him the ball in this game, one of their top priorities.
And a top priority for the defense has got to be finding ways to cover him. And I don't think you can have one basic coverage to get it done. You have to throw a number of coverages at him, make him think as he's running downfield, and hope you can create a little bit of havoc.
Now a first down carry for Harris.
And able to work his way down to the 16. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line.
The sack there by Brandon Graham coming in and bringing him down to the ground.
In every game we talk about what are going to be the keys as we go into it. Maybe that's a key for their defense today. Pressure the quarterback and make sure you play a good zone defense behind them, and they get their first sack of the contest.
Throwing on 3rd down. Here's Pickett. And that ball incomplete, nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one. It'll lead to a 4th down.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up 4th down here.
Now Pickett on 4th down.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Mike Tomlin takes a shot here, but to no avail. And on the opening drive of the afternoon, the defense forces a turnover on downs.
Now for the first time, we get to see this Philadelphia offense led out by their dual-threat quarterback now in his 3rd season, Jalen Hurts. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10
at their own 20-yard line. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
From the gun, it's Hurts. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Hurts sets up to throw it. Open man is Goddard, the tight end. It's a gain of 6, but not enough, as he'll be forced to punt on their first drive of the game.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Here's Aaron Sipos out now to punt on 4th down. And back deep, Gunnar Olszewski. Take it at the 37. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. 13 yards the tally on the return there. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach.
And that is caught at the 10-yard line. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 45 yards.
They started this drive with terrific field position, and it's going to get even better after that play. Had great options with where they started, so they decided to press their advantage, and it paid off.
Here we go now on 1st and goal. Harris running straight ahead. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
Najee Harris, well built for work down here near the end zone. That's a nice job there to hold him up. But I doubt we've seen the last of him on this drive.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Second and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. Pickett going to keep it himself. And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line. Only a yard on the sneak, not what he was hoping for it. It's 3rd down. Pickett going to keep it himself. So call that no gain on the sneak, and now they're still a yard short here on 4th. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what, right?
Yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. And I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
Try to wedge his way in there, no signal. I don't think he got there. He didn't. They try the sneak, but not enough push. He doesn't get in. And this Eagle defense stands tall down near the goal line. It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. So they cite the right guard this time with a holding penalty.
And so many different assignments you could have at that position, and sometimes you might just be a step too late and have to grab and hold on.
Hurts a handoff to Sanders. And he'll take this up to about the 7 or 8 yard line. Give him 5 yards there, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Another run with Sanders. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Throwing is Hurts. And he's got his man. It's the tight end Goddard. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back.
And he fires one that's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it.
And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there. Got a nice interception and set up their offense.
Open man is Johnson. Touchdown Steelers. 10 yards on the touchdown pass. And the Steelers post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this second quarter. Little loft on that touchdown pass and sort of dropped it in the breadbasket perfectly.
Right in the bucket. And when you're coming out of college and you're a rookie in the NFL, sometimes you forget about the different types of throws you have to make. You just rely on your fastball and throw it as hard as you can all the time. But in this situation, he understood and threw it in a spot where only his receiver was going to get it and no one else. That was pretty.
Extra point through the snowflakes, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return.
The lane opens here. He's past the 30.
And he will take this one back all the way inside the 35.
Well, whatever the relationship was between the special teams and the offense, it's gotten a heck of a lot closer after a return like that. The special teams just keep setting them up. The offense thinks they'll go out there and knock them down.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Miles Jack with a sack.
He only gave them an instant to react. It was a classic case of if you blink, you missed him. Off of the line and to the quarterback in just a couple of seconds. Running back only had a moment to react and attempt to throw a block.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Another try after the first down sack.
Hurts. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Hurts.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Watkins. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
A very important 3rd down conversion right there, because when you're trailing and find yourself this deep in enemy territory, the kicker's not even part of your thought process. You got to make it pay off with 6. Nice connection right there to set up 1st and goal.
They'll run with Sanders. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal.
Here's Hurts to throw.
Touchdown!
Jalen Hurts finding A.J. Brown. And the Eagles are within an extra point of tying up this ball game.
Elliott good with a PAT. And we are tied at 7. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
It's capped off by an A.J. Brown touchdown. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. Take a look at Deontay Johnson as this offense runs back out, making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defense, is getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
He's going to sling this deep downfield. A fight for it, and this is caught. What a catch. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 42 yards.
There's the arm strength that we saw in college and during the scouting process. And really, it's not just the arm strength there, but the placement as well. To me, that was an excellent combination of arm talent and accuracy.
And this one nearly picked off. Kind of surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but get away it does, and it's second down.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line.
Pickett, he'll look to throw it.
Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Deontay Johnson with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half.
And the Steelers have taken the lead. What a first half he is compiling here. He's already over 100 yards receiving and now 2 touchdowns, CD.
Brandon, you know I don't like to play the game where you start projecting when you're at a certain point. But let's face it, he's off to a tremendous start. So 200 yards, 4 touchdowns. I don't think anything's out of the question right now. He's blowing up coverages. You've got to double him every snap. Otherwise, he's going to defeat you on almost every play.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Philadelphia's offense ready to give us another look. After that last score we just saw, now 14-7, so a chance to march down the field here, try to tie this football game. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10
at their own 23.
He'll start with a handoff to Sanders.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Another run here with Sanders. And he can muster only a couple here to the 24. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you. And
he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down.
Tyson Alualu gets in there and drops it.
And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
Aaron Siposs on to punt as he'll get this one away now.
They'll score that a 36-yard punt. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done.
A fight for it, and this is caught. It's caught indeed. A big pickup of 38.
The dynamic duo is doing damage in this one, and they've certainly been on point throughout, and they hook up again for another big play.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's first and goal from just inside the 10. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
I know tight ends love this route because a lot of times they'll fake a block first and get a little bit of space and then come across the middle, because in their mind, they're thinking catch the ball and then drop the hammer on the little guys in the secondary.
Unable to drop the hammer, he just dropped the pass.
And that nearly intercepted. Oh, a chance at a big play in his own end zone. But instead, third down coming up. Pickett now, third and goal.
Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing fourth down.
So Pickett is off to the sideline, and Chris Boswell is on for the Steeler field goal try.
From the left hash, a chip shot here. Boswell's kick is good, and they will move up by 10 now, 17-7.
So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about one-score lead, two-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field.
Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
That's Cameron Hayward who got in there to take him down.
The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. Another try after the first down sack. Hurts. A good job defensively to hold that to 4 yards, and now it's third down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
The Steelers now in the nickel here on third down. This time they stay on the ground. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a fourth down. So all right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. This snow front that has socked much of the East Coast not going away as we are back to it in the second half.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Eagles ready to go on offense to begin this third quarter. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half. They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now back to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Hurts finding Goddard there. First down, Philadelphia. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. They're going to look to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down.
The key to any screen play is all in the deception. That means everyone on the offensive side of the ball. But someone gave it up because that one wasn't very well concealed. And the defense able to rally to him and hold him for just a short gain.
Hurts fumbles it. And it's picked up by the Steelers.
So it's kind of more of the same offensively. This was a team needing to come out in this 3rd quarter with a little fire. Instead, they put the ball on the ground.
And you know that has to be the discussion at halftime because they're down 2 scores. We got to come out with a little bit more urgency than we had in the first half. Now that urgency falls on their defense because they can't fall down 3 scores and hope to come back and win this game.
This is caught inside the 15. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 43 yards.
But they didn't ease into that drive right out of the turnover. They go for the big shot downfield and hit it. A lot of teams have that opportunity, but not every coach is going to greenlight that type of a play call. I love their aggressiveness.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down.
Hey, give him credit. That's a good solid game there on the sneak because it all comes together. Enough space, get forward, gain yardage. Well done.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. On the give, this is Harris. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
Again, it's Harris. And good work there defensively as they're able to keep him out of the end zone.
This defense bending but not breaking. It's a gain of 3. It's now 4th and goal. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
Pickett going to keep it himself.
Trying to wedge his way in there. No signal. I don't think he got there. He didn't. They try the sneak, but not enough push. He doesn't get in. And this Eagle defense stands tall down near the goal line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Second down, back to Sanders.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
Quick slant here to Smith. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Running right, here's Sanders. And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
Second down, back to Sanders.
And maybe shades in the steel curtain here as the Steeler defense drops him behind the line again. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Now the terrible towels in full force now as the Steelers get set to defend this 3rd and long.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Flushed out right. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. Before they can get the punt away, whistles as we've come to the end of the 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
They'll try and throw for it with Hurts.
And that is incomplete. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And now the football is going to go over, already being placed at the 15-yard line. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games.
And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers.
Connor Hayward.
A 15-yard touchdown, Brown.
And the Steelers are an extra point away from making this a 3-score game. Well, this, of course, set up by the stop a moment ago on 4th down, and now that might be the score that puts this one officially out of reach.
And it's a tough one because your hands are tied when you're losing in the 4th quarter because you know you've got to make something happen. They couldn't pick up the first down, and after that, the air just went right out of the balloon, and you knew you were looking at a defeated team.
And he pushed it right. It's no good. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Well, Charles, you remember their last drive. They went for it on 4th down, didn't get it, but you understand why they did in this close game late. Now, though, the road back is even tougher.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And it was fair to look back and say the 4th down was the moment where this one was decided. But as you mentioned, understandable about why they went for it. But, hey, a lot of credit to the guys on the defensive side of the ball. They knew they'd have to defend in that situation, and they got it done.
You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
From the 27, Hurts. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. They get to him for a loss of 4, and it brings up third down on the sack.
Remember, throughout my career here, defensive coaches always say, guys, you've got to earn the right to rush the passer. And they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw break out on third down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
This will be caught by Brown. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be second down. Fourth quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Back to throw again. And that is incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
Going for it with Sanders. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on fourth down. On first down, Hurts. He finds his tight end, Goddard. That's complete. It'll go as a gain of 4, and that'll bring up second down. They're giving those short little routes, tackled him in bounds too. They're just not wanting to get beat over the top.
Yeah, and if you can't really get downfield, take the short routes, but now you got to have guys who can actually break tackles and increase those gains.
Hurts throw taken in by Pascal, and they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Taken in by Pascal out left. And he is going to have an Eagles first down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3. They'll look to throw again. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Hurts. This short throw caught by Goddard. And he'll take this forward for about 5 as we have come upon the 2-minute warning. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And Pittsburgh with 6 defensive backs in the game here on 3rd down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Arthur Mallett. And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football. All smiles and high fives on that defensive sideline. That interception will cap off what was truly a tremendous performance.
Yeah, if you can hold a team to 7 points in the NFL, that's the kind of day that you feel really good about. Now, I do know a few guys are going to think to themselves, held them to 7. If we'd made...
Oh, a contested ball here, and it's going to be caught. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. They hand this off to Harris. Pushing and fighting his way in for a Steeler touchdown. Najee Harris, an 8-yard touchdown run. And the Steelers have pretty well put it away here in the fourth quarter. Boswell good with the extra point. And that pushes the lead up to 23. Well, it wasn't a one-play drive, but I think they'll take it. The scoring summary, 2 plays and into the end zone. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner.
And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
So free kick situation forthcoming from the 20 as they'll punt this one away. Oh, the return is Sims.
Now that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Well, they've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the fourth quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted. So they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
Well, there's absolutely been no stopping this offense today. They already have the big lead, obviously. Here in the fourth quarter, they could coast to the end, but right now they're not passing up any chances to put up some garbage time yardage.
And, partner, why would they? Because who knows the next time you'll be playing as well as you have today. When you're in that zone, you go ahead and take full advantage of it. You don't worry about your opponent. You just worry about what you're doing.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. That one looks like he'll throw here. And this is caught inside the 5. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 41 yards.
No let up in this passing game. They've been a well-oiled machine throughout. And actually saw a few guys on the sidelines at the end of the third quarter doing the old hold up 4 fingers college sign, meaning the fourth quarter is ours. And they certainly weren't kidding.
So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished.